Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Epic Share, Word Concept or Word Sharing. My name is Sammy Gara, and I'm excited today to be with you. I have some great things to speak to you about. Today's topic it's about boundary. And remember, I have 11 minutes and I have to speed up and try to teach you something that you can enjoy. Unfortunately, today Kosta's not going to join us. He's out in a meeting out of town. But next week, you get to have him so you can have all of his information and enjoy his presence. Today, I actually had to put little note on the paper because that's the way how I can really stay focused. I only have so much that I can talk and squeeze into those, minutes so you can really understand what this is about. The topic today is about setting boundaries. And a lot of us don't like boundaries, and yet it's one of the most important things that each of us human being must have, so people can respect you, so people can take you serious. And funny enough, last night I had an opportunity to meditate because I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 2 a.m. and it was pretty interesting because usually when I wake up at 2 a.m., I feel the need to go in meditation. And I was thinking about today's topic because I'm like, when I talk about boundary, it's almost feel like it push people's button. How can I give a better explanation so each one of us can take it in a more gentle way? And what came up for me last night, and it's pretty incredible. I even have goosebumps right now. It says the boundary. When you have to share your boundary with someone, and you understand by the end of the segment that it's important to have that. Otherwise, no one will take you serious. A boundary, it's communication that you take from a leadership so people can take you serious. If you tell somebody, and this is work and will cover every single aspect in your life. And I know because I took many different approaches, but when I came from a leadership, people really took me serious. And this will cover relationship, will cover, friends, family, kids, co-worker, and even one that is actually funny, that some of you, they are animal lovers, you will appreciate that, animal. Because let me talk about the animal a little bit, and then I go why I think the boundary, even with your animal, it's very important. Because let's say you an animal lover and you have a cat or a dog. I was the person with the cat, and I promise you that if I wasn't in a relationship, I probably will end up like the lady with the cat. But what was interesting is I had no boundary with my animal. I was literally catering to them. And what happened, you don't realize, but you kind of fall into their own trap. And then they are the one that tell you or make you believe the way how they want. That's why when it comes to also dog trainer or any type of animal trainer, you have a trainer that train your animal to teach them some type of boundary so they can learn how to stay focused. That's why I add the animal into my list. When it comes to children, and I'm gonna go, in different, different place in my list. When it comes to children, what I learned with my grandson, forget about my son, he's 31 right now, but the little kids, we as a parents, as a grandparents, or, when you have kids, you need to sit down with them and teach them boundary and tell them, every cause has an effect. You do good thing happen to you. You do bad thing, well, you're gonna end up with, bad experience. So they can understand at this a younger age, so they know what experience they want to create for themselves. And also, when they become a teenager, it's also honoring and respecting the privacy. We as a parent sometimes, we can be all over the place and forget that those kids are also their own, have their own personality and they need their privacy. And we forget that. We kind of go over their boundary as well. That's why you create conflict and there is it turn to an argument and there is no more respect, with each other. When it comes to relationship, I learned how to give my husband his space. And he's very good on giving me his space. If I feel that I need a space, I need to be on my own for a little bit, he will never question. He will give me my space because I ask him. It's called honoring each other, and I will do the same thing to him. So having boundaries is very important because it also teach you and let the other person know that you respect them enough so you allow them to be. By the end of the day, we all want respect. Same with your coworker, same with your partner. When I'm at work, my boundary, sometimes you don't need to have boundary. But if there is a need to have boundary, you need to come from a loving approach and still can make a statement to those individuals so they can respect you. But you have to take a leadership approach. You have to come very with confidence and tell them what is it that worked for you. With my friend, it's very interesting because my friend know 100% what I like, what I don't like. So when I hang out with them, they know exactly this is now Sammy thing. So whether they choose to invite me or not, they also respect whether I'm gonna accept the invitation or not. They know my personality, I know their personality, and that's why we have great connection. I was just thinking also a minute ago, about my mother. My mother liked to sleep late in the morning. So when I go to her house, I don't complain that, I came from out of town and she need to wake up early to cater me, to be with me because I'm only there for, a few days. I respect her boundary. She like to stay up late and like to sleep very late. So if I have an agenda or my schedule, I have a schedule, I make sure that I work, during her schedule. So when I go visit my mom, I'm giving you some simple example, but I guarantee you, if you look at your own life, you're going to realize that, it's very important to have your boundary and set your boundary with others. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, strong because it's not going to work. Sometimes it does, but not necessary all the time. I find very beneficial for me that the loving approach, the kind approach, make people understand more. Because what truly boundary is, it's communication. My communication with you, my communication with my children, my communication with my husband, with my friend, with my coworker, with my employee, with my partner. It's communication. But if you stand strong with foundation and confident, they listen to you because you're not attacking. Boundary doesn't mean attack. And a lot of us in our society have issue with that because the lack of understanding. It's nothing negative. It's actually something positive that you can take it, benefit from it, and shift. An example. I remember very clear, and a friend of mine was telling me that I'm telling my kids, smoking is bad for you. He tried to teach them boundary, right and wrong, and here this man smoke. And I said, Mike, how could you teach them something you don't even live? You tell your kids you want to teach them from right and wrong, then you better follow those, rule. Because we become the example, whether it's our children, whether it's our spouse. By the end of the day, like for me, I go home, my husband will know whether I'm full of nonsense, whether I walk my walk or talk my talk. So when I say something, I have to mean it. Mean what you say what you mean. That's probably the most simplified way to approach, to let people know who you are and what you expect from them. Not have to be necessary coming from an attack approach or a negative approach. You can still communicate from love to make your boundaries set very clear for another person to listen. I can be here and tell you about many different examples, but I give you enough for you to really consider and look at your life and look at all your loved one, your friend, your family. And if you care enough about those relationships, what is it that you are willing to do today to change? Do you want them to hear you? Do you want them to talk to you? Do you want them to listen to you, your true self? Then communicate. Communicate with confidence about the true person that you are and your need and desire. If you come this approach from a leadership, they will understand. My time is up. Don't forget to actually find us on social media and follow us next week on Thursday at 11 a.m. Kosta will be the host, and he has some incredible information to share with you. I'm super excited, and I can't wait, to hear back from you. And don't be shy, please. Ask question. I would love to work with my team and answer every question you have. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.